This is day 1295, the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. I'm sitting here in Eretz Yisrael, outside outside in my sister-in-law's house. I would like to, of course, should be a schus for Yosh Eretz Yisrael and everybody who is involved in Chemes Hashem Tzvakos. Today we're doing Yeridea, Siman. Well, we're supposed to do Siman Kuf Tzadik Vav Siv Ches till Tes Zayin, but we did Ches yesterday in order to be mashed in the Indian. So we're doing from Tes to Tes Zayin today. Tes. Avodas Rashi with Torah's Abayis. As we mentioned yesterday, normally we bring down the Rashi before the Ra. Here it's the opposite. Avodas Rashi Torah's Abayis. The Gam Yom Arishim Hani Bika Shachris. Even the first day, checking the morning work. Shabbat Mitzvah Torah. If she checked herself Torah and Sham, you should say Halacha Rebbe. So it's a Rebbe Shechazba Mashalo Shoal. He changed his mind now, which he didn't ask. It's to him it's simple. It's a Dora Pashut that the first day is like this other days. Ayin Sham. Kemish Marta Isi, since Rabbi Yonasi said, I made a mistake, Shmamina Dina Hachi. So this infers that it's halacha. For Chalakal Berek Habayis, Ayin Sham, the Rav, of course, argues on him, as we mentioned. Yud, V'das Rosh Lo B'ir Lon. We don't know what they're putting in the Rosh. Shukasa B'kitzur Yechos Nida, he writes, Kasher Tipas Dam K'charadam, when she sees the drop of the other slides of mustard seed, Tzricha L'Achshe Teisho of Shibin Akim, she has to sit 7 clean days. L'achar she Yifsok Hadam, after the blood stops, Tivdok Hatzma Yafeh Yafeh. Check herself very well. V'chule, B'diko Zutia Ben Hashmoshes, it should be twilight, and Yom Shetivso Miros, and they should stop saying V'chule. HaKan Shoro. It would seem Pasak Rabbi Yehuda. The Pasak Rabbi Yehuda v'zeu davar she'ev shar. You can't Pasak Rabbi Yehuda. Leave soak kiyokin neged rabbim. To paskin like an individual against the rabbim. We'll say it could be earlier. Can I talk about having folshim b'avonas vonav, and unfortunately he had difficulty understanding what to say. The Bais Yosef, the Madani Yoy, the Yom Tov, and the Bach. The Yeshish because of those who wrote Pasak Rashi with Taisus. It was like Rashi says, the Yom Shetir the day she sees Hakoma, the Chalios Dafka Ben Hashmoshes, Climber Koida Ben Hashmoshes. Not during Ben Hashmoshes, but right before Ben Hashmoshes. That's the Sidra Tara. Lania Satin Achon does not like this. And you can't have the fire. You should explain the Shalora Sabo Bayom Hani Bika Shachris that she didn't see that day, then Bika Shachris works. Vraya Bur Lazet, clear evidence for this. Sharay, the Parakuts, hey, you know what? I think I said before. What I was wrong for what I said. He has a problem with the rush. The problem with the rush is that no, what is the problem with the rush? I think it was right. Okay. Anyway, but he says going back again. You can't have a virus to slow us up, but she should say, okay, yes, that's true. If she saw Baba Yom, she didn't say Baba Yom, she could work, have a check in the morning. For Brula, is that clear-cut evidence of this? Elsewhere, Rush writes, now, they have a women take Sabik Zavas, who we have a doubt whether they're perhaps Zavas. Have to check themselves to have Siktara when it's known that the source has been stopped up. Akan Lashono. Floyd is Klab Ben Hashmoshes. Doesn't mention Ben Hashmoshes at all. You know, if he could differ Rabbeinu, he says the true understanding is like the way he says Bakitzur in the Rosh's Kitzur of Hilchos Nida. Lo Nachislam again. Din doesn't get down into the depths of the halacha. Wow. So that seems to indicate that the Rosh wrote the Kitzur Hilchos Nida for women. So he wrote to the daughters of Israel what they should do. Because about Derech Hatom Muchai wrote the best and most exemplary manner. And therefore, the Parakid wrote the primary halacha. Shemasai should do whenever she checks herself. During the day it works. Even when she saw that day, later in the day she can check. Kedas Rambam Varashba, like Rambam Rashba hold. He came Lama Loho Rolohan She Tisheb because the Tocha Rechem Ad Halayla. That's the case. Why didn't he pass for them the most machmir shita, which is the moch dachuk shita, which is that should have a dika cloth in her inside until nightfall. Shabdika until after nightfall. Shabdika zumotia mikosavi. This the checking takes her out of any suffix. Look, Ashkal, that's not difficult. Lo etzach b'd abonos Yisrael. He didn't want to make it hard for the daughters of Israel. He got the Mishnah muchake. From the Mishnah it's clear that it's not necessary. Shomu chachamim, Rabbi Yehuda, Mali Yodeh Beinei Kol Ben Ashmashos, Chulei. Yeah, the Chachamim said Rabbi Yehuda were her to have a moch dachuk, then it would be a wonderful thing. Mashed is it sounds quite explicit that it's a hard thing. We can't demand it of them. Also from his not elaborating, it seems that also on the first day it works like the Rashba says. The bracket says here, "V'zesh kasav sham kidam Rav." That's why he writes there, like Rav says, "The tzich lafsik b'tor b'shlishi shlo." She has to make hafsitar on the third day. V'chulei v'zel lishna the Rav nikot nakat. There's the Lashon Abraham Mishum the Zava ain't elo shloshi yamim. The Zava is only 3 days. The Rav Naki Levidin Torah, and the Rav goes into the Torah after 3 days. She's a Zava, and that's when she gets Masa Yitar. Rosh Mahil done. What's time for us? The Gam Biyom Rishon Kenu. That even the first day you can you do the hefsek. Gam Rishon Din Ken is not just true on the third day; it's true on the first day. The local have a levi Rishon Mani, otherwise you'd say it doesn't work on the first day. For the Rishon Shabrais of Sheish Mishnah Beganki Lachar Shlosh Alfi Ikari Dine Ziva. Also, the first day mentioned in the Bryce and the second day mentioned in the Mishnah are also after 3 days, according to the primary law of Zava V'duk. Yud base. So Tur Shloch Lo Yiviu Cloud Das Rashi Yotais. Then bring up Tur Shloch not bring down Rashi Yotais at all, because Das Ram Levium before Shloch the opinion did not bring down explicitly. El Shabramzo Daita Gamoshi's bar. They gave a hint to his opinion, as we shall see. Zelashon Atur, and this is what the Tur says. Shivas Yomim Shazova Soferes. The 7 days of Zova counts. Mitchilas Maschelos Machras Yom Shapasko. They begin from the day day after she stopped. The Kach Mishpata, and this is her parameter. If she sees 2 or 3 days and then stops, but then she checks on the day she stopped, in order that she should be able to make a hefsek tara. Customer Rashi says, "But ka'atzma shachris uchuli." I raise the Torah. She checked in the morning. She's still Torah. Also, it's the only 1 day. Upaska, and she stopped. But ka'atzma, and she checked herself. Mitzvah Torah, and she found herself Torah. Ha'reizu b'cheskas Torah. So she's considered to be Torah. Yesh machmirim b'zeh. Some people are machmir on this. I mean, sofek on account because of doubt. Holy mayona pasuach, since source is not yet closed necessarily. But Moshe Radoni of Yerosa Yerash Tzrichos Yitivsu B'Tara Ben Hashmashos Zechulei. Seems that there has to be specifically Ben Hashmashos, according to towards farther the rush. You give me an because of that, what she says, in Teresh Ne'am, in Shlosh, she sees 2 or 3 days. Tomalot and Manoshach. They were astounded. No matter what do you say. No matter what you say, Ein Zer Lefi, the entire. That's why Dafka Shloshim Zava. You don't necessarily need absolutely 3 days for a Zava. Lowly done. And not for according to us. According to us, it's also not true, even though it's not the Torah. The rock. According to our minhag, even at one time, she still needs Shimon Akim. So, what's going on here? The Dios answer, this is Elfidin Torah. This is talking in Torah. If she saw one Riyah, which could last through 2 days, in other words, Ben Hashmashos. And then with another Riyah, which is, I guess, the second one I'm referring to here, have is 3 days. The first Riyah was over 2 days, and the last one is the 3rd day. That's the Bach and the Sitra Tara. The Arukh HaShulchan says, I am astounded. Hello, Aturkos done lo lefi din Torah. So it's going like us, not according to din Torah. There's those who answer me to Misham shekasav achaka b'bdika b'yom sheni. Since he mentioned that we're checking the second day, but the Rishon is on the first day is a Pulach Lekos. Feel b'achreach yoshnei yomim. Therefore, it has to be, I guess, after at least 2 days. Hafiza lama kasav o shlosha. Why say 3 days? Why say 2 days? Has to be after at least 2 days. Why do you write 3 days? When he is like the Chruch Rachlu said, he was compelled to say this. They shlono my the cheni kilu that they shouldn't. We shouldn't say it. Therefore, they're a meko. B'bdika shachris achshav. When checking in the morning now, we shouldn't look so down because she's not yet established to have a flow of blood. Came and shown achas. Because since we see Shimon Akim on one riyah, so I'll say okay. After one riyah, true, we're machmir Shimon Akim, but maybe that is the only time we're making B'dika Shachris is where she didn't see for 3 days. But she was muchzak seen twice. Man, so the trade is according to Pinot, that 2 times the chazaka. Or 3 times the man displayed the betray lo avi chazaka. According to Pinot, 2 is not chazaka. Rak b'shloisha only 3. Ain't lo kel b'dika shachris. Once again, you couldn't be mako checking the morning. If you did on Mishnah Bechler tzurich lioshosh, you can't say that. Kamashan afilu, does it say you can't say that afilu? Shuchzaka, even if she was muchzekes, close to 3 days. Mikli were makos. If you did Mishnah Bechler tzurich lioshosh, going along the Mishnah definitely have to be 3 years. Come never so muchachami da'ibdika shachris. According to that, look, that's 3 times, and yet it's clear that because shachris works. So we are also not machmir. I just said on the first day some people machmir. Kavanos the Rambam. He means the Rambam. The day gam b'dikas be'eshmashos ain't oil. According to Rambam, even checking be'eshmashos is not effective. Mashkas das rush now, but she wrote in the PA rush. Tafsu and Farsha to feel like that rush ikra din kenu. They assume that he meant this as a strict halacha. But Dachar Rabbeinu says he says rejects the sign sham. Vanita Mona says, "How I am astonished at this. How can you say this? Very practical because the Lois gives a rush cloud. Rush doesn't mention this all. Rush Kosav he said. It's easier to say. The Gam had Tur Tavas Kavaras a rush Rabbeinu says. That Tur also is rush as we say. It should not rash or Kasakavi Ikadin. But the Rosh were according to the strict letter of the law. The Rosh was a machmir when it came to actual practice. Because that's the Rosh, that's the opinion bring to the Rosh to be machmir when it comes to actual deployment of the halacha. Test Vav. This is what the base writes. Shiva Yom Shasavas Faris, the 7 days of Sova counts. We can today after the Hefsek Tara. This is her principle. In she's 2 or 3 days, she stops seeing. But that is the Yom Shapaska, she checks on the day she stops seeing. They should keep to make Hefsek Tara. This checks right before twilight. Also, the person should teach the household that his wife or wives should make the Bedika with the cloth inserted the entire Ben Hashmashos, the Mochdachu. B'sheshon kol Ben Hashmashos, read the entire Ben Hashmashos. This is a super effective Bedika. I'm going to show it. See, Beis Kosav in the second CV writes, Rasi Yom Echad Bilvav, she's only 1 day. Or Paska Bo Bayom, and she stops seeing that same day. Tzirudok got some Mochdachu, then she has to use Mochdachu. Sheshon kol Ben Hashmashos, we've got to be there for the entire period of twilight. Tezai. B'nei B'sifav lo chashash kalachtov ikradin. Sifav doesn't write the primary lo chashel b'sifra Agoro, which he mentions in the Beis Yosef. The B'shar Yom in Chol B'sik Dai B'dikla Shachris. According to all the poskim, all the 7 days of B'dikla Shachris is enough. The time, one reason is came when the Rosh Kosav came. B'kitzer Dinei Nida. Since the Rosh wrote this way in Kitzur Chesnida, Shlachti Noga Isha Livdok Samach LeBein Hashmashos, that the woman should custom herself to check adjacent to Bein Hashmashos. Lord, so Klavas Kim Mash Medina Sagi B'dika Shachris. He didn't want to mention again because he told it to Benos Yisrael. That's another B'dika Shachris. Magan Fimash Biano, especially when I would explain the Shitas Rashi V'Taisis. The Gama Ikra Din Tzarech Davka Tzarech Bein Hashmashos. It also has to be adjacent to Bein Hashmashos. Nearest daiti the Mekom Moder Rabbeinu Beis Yosef. Nevertheless, Beis Yosef can say the B'diavad, but Shachas, even though the preference is the afternoon, and the Mechdochuk, but the morning works. V'zesh kosher Rabbeinu Ramah, that's what Ramah writes, Al Dvorav, Shitzrich, Tzamel L'Menesh Mashas. And what the Beisay said, Jason Menesh Mashas, Zelshono, V'chein Hagim L'Chatchila, that's preferable. But the Yeven, if that, after the fact, I feel about Katzimor Akshachis, I'm going to check this up in the morning. Matzah Tzimor Torah, and Shivan Torah, Sagi B'kach, that's enough, Akalashana. They know the Cholik Rabbeinu Beisay doesn't argue with Beisay, Elo Shabir Kamenos is explain what he means. Avila Rashi Taisis Shlo Rasa Bayom Pshita Sai B'Dil Shachris. He called Rashi Taisis on the same day that she saw it, can't do B'Dil Shachris. If she saw it a different day, it's obvious B'Dil Shachris is enough. Avlo B'Dil Lev Siktara Avila Das Shezek Kamei Shlo Rasa. But if she didn't do a B'Dil to be Mav Siktara, even she knows clearly, from her own knowledge, the Kamei Shlo Rasa, several days have passed and she hasn't seen. Ain't no klum, it's nothing. You can't start shemakim without an actual bedika taking place the evening or the day, according to those who day works, before